Grant, heading into the final friendly of pre-season against Rotherham United, how's the squad looking up? You had a few players back in training that have missed the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been pleasing. We've managed to get Sam Westbrook, Harry Clifton, Tom Anderson and Ben Close all trained this week. Ben's obviously a bit away fitness-wise. The other three are fine. Again, we just need to build up their endurance, their fitness and minutes. So nobody in the treatment room, which is really pleasing, and the squad's in a good place.
You've not been able to say that much since you've been here, the fact that you've got an empty treatment room.
I don't think I've said it once, to be honest. I think it's the first time, and we want to keep it that way, touch wood. Look, the most important thing is to have the squad fully fit for next week, for Accrington. We're only a week away now, so it's come around quick. Pre-season's been really positive. Boys are in a good place, and everyone's looking forward to, obviously the game tomorrow for us in our last pre-season game, but also for Woody.
Do you expect any of the three that you mentioned to play a part at Rotherham?
Yeah, Tom, Cian and Harry will all come with us. Ben's obviously a little bit away. It's his first weekend with the group, so we'll just build him up. We'll build him up. He might take 2-3 weeks, but he's a big player for us to have back.
Overall, where the rest of the group are at this stage, just a week away from the start of the season, how pleased are you with the conditioning that everybody's in?
Yeah, brilliant. Competitive group. Everyone's fine for a position come Accrington. I think it's a real positive place to be at the moment, but ultimately, the test is the league, and that's what we're gearing up for. We want to hopefully try and get off to a good start and put ourselves in a good position. So we're working hard to do that.
Do you feel that competition is having a noticeable effect? Can you see that it's maybe pushing one or two of them? That little extra few percent.
Yeah, I think there's been loads of positives over pre-season. There's definitely the positives outweigh the negatives in terms of what we've seen in the games. The style of play and how we want to play has come to fruition a wee bit more in the last couple of games against championship opposition. We'll look to try and bring that even more and further and adapt it a little bit into the Rotherham game tomorrow. And I think we're in a good place. I really do. I think it's much more positive than it felt at this stage last season. Given the fact I'm sitting here probably talking to you a year ago with 8, 9, 10 players sitting in the treatment room. That's not the case now. We feel like the squad's more robust and ready to attack the league as it comes.
Not entirely sure what team you'll come up against at Rotherham, but is this going to be a little bit closer to what you can expect this season in League Two?
I think they've recruited very well. Steve's obviously really good in terms of that, and he always seems to find quality players coming into his group, whether that's whatever club he's at, Gillingham, Steve needs Rotherham, Leeds. So it'll be a really competitive game. Groundsman's got the stuff on there, so
everybody's busy at this.
So it's it'll be a really competitive game, and we expect a massive challenge. Again, if some of the boys have brought in are top class League One players and probably Championship players as well, so we know it'll be a really tough game.
And although this is a game to celebrate Richard Wood, and we're all part of that, it's an important friendly for both teams as well, the one that will be taken seriously the last week heading into the new season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the last game, isn't it? We want to try and get as much minutes now into some of the players as possible, also getting some minutes to one or two others that'll be on the bench, and just building up the minutes again. There is a game here next Tuesday, an in-house game that's been arranged, that one or two may play in just to build up their minutes again, but this ultimately is the last one for us, that our fans can come and see us, and hopefully come and support.
Just on Richard Wood, how has it been working with him for this last year?
Yeah, great. It's just a leader, competitor, obviously frustrated early part of the season with that calf injury that he had, and just kept niggling away at him. He kept coming back and feeling it again, so to get to the bottom of that was great. I think he came back into the team in the cup game at Bradford last year, and stayed there, and our results from probably Sutton onwards were really positive, and he had a huge help at hand in that. Just his talk and his leadership, his defensive abilities. We got stronger as a team defensively with his talk and communicating, and he's just a great person to have about, and it's great for him to get this recognition and Rotherham to give him this testimonial, because he's been a great servant to them. And also, for us, we just want to wish him all the best, and hopefully he enjoys his day. But what he knows is this is our last pre-season game as well, and we need to get our ideas in, ahead of the game next week against Accrington.
Going to be another big player for you again this season?
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, look, he's very good at managing himself and looking after himself, and he never misses a day's training. He hasn't done, but he knows when to step out or step back in. So it's he's a massive player for us.
Really useful player to have around with that experience as well, in terms of helping the younger lads in the team. Obviously, Jay McGrath's still young in the early stages of his career, but we've seen him alongside Casper Williams in pre-season as well, and probably no better person for him to learn off.
Yeah, if you're a young centre back at this football club and you've got Richard Wood here, then you'd be mad not to be speaking to him all the time and getting ideas of him and understanding what it takes to play at a top level for a sustained period of time. All the highs, the lows, everything that it goes through in football. Woody's been there, done it. So the likes of Jay, Joe, even Tom. Tom's only 30 years of age. I'm sure can learn some stuff off Woody. Casper Williams, all the young players here at this football club need to, if they're not, I'd imagine they are, but if they're not, then, I'd advise them to be, speaking to him all the time and understanding what it takes to be a top professional. Speaking of the younger players, 3 of them going out on loan this week: Freddie Allen, Jack DeGruchy and Tavonga Kalea. Exactly what you wanted heading into the start of the season. Look, we've got 6 players out on loan now. A lot of the younger boys are out. Bobby, Tav, Jack Goodman, Freddie Allen, Louis Jones has gone out. So to have all the boys out, get them games is important, because minutes is really important, as we know. And for them, it's an opportunity to go and play men's football, to have something to look forward to at the end of every week, rather than travelling on us or in a training group at the training ground. That is really important for them.